Hey guys, happy Sunday. You're getting the best of me right here. But anyways, I wanted to do this for you because I know we had some students that missed the first class when we were doing the validation board. And if you just look at it for the first time, it might be a little confusing on where we're coming from, what we're talking about, and that. So I thought I would record a little spiel for you so you can take a look at it and we can get you back on track. So when we talk about a validation board is going to be something that is very close to the beginning of your idea. So if this is where you come up with a little bit of a business idea, a problem that you might want to solve, and then on this side, this is where we're talking about ready to build your prototype, take it to market, get some feedback on it, and that kind of thing, your validation board is going to happen very close over here to the beginning. And so the reason why we want to do a validation board is we literally, this is not what you're supposed to do when you define something, but we literally want to validate your idea. So right now you feel like you've seen a problem you can solve and you might sort of feel like you have a solution people may want. Before we just move fast forward with that 100 miles an hour, we want to find out if the problem you think people have, if they feel like they actually have that problem. In the scooter video that we took a look at, it was about 8 or 10 minutes. In the scooter video, remember that he thought that everybody wanted to buy a scooter to be environmentally friendly. And then he quickly found out that that original assumption really didn't work. And then he kind of went to plan B. And when he went to plan B, he also thought that people just really might want a Vespa because they might think that commuting into Manhattan would be a good idea. And that kind of fell flat. And then it ended up coming to be that people really just wanted a Vespa because they thought it was cool, because they had seen people in Europe riding Vespas. So our lesson that we want to pull away from that and then into this validation board is that I'm sure that you have a really good idea right now, but sometimes your really good idea isn't exactly what the consumer wants. So at the end of this activity, what we should be able to find out is, were you right? And we actually are going to follow through with your idea. Did you get some feedback from consumers and find out that, oh, I was on the right track, but I could just pivot a little bit and change my idea to be even better? Or did we actually get feedback from consumers and we find out that there actually is another competitor out there already, or what we feel like is a problem is not really a problem for them at all? So in that case, we actually completely drop that idea and we move on to something else. It doesn't really matter in this activity which one of those three ways you end up, because we're learning the process and the steps on how this activity goes along. So let's go on over and take a look at what this file looks like, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense to you so that you can see what we need to do. So this is a validation board for your idea. I know that most all of you in class have a business idea or a problem to solve. We did those opportunity recognition activities. You might not love your idea and you're not tied to that idea, but you probably have some ideas already. This is your idea. I am not giving you an assignment and telling you what your problem is to solve. Please notice that this is going to be worth 70 points. On slide 2, you're going to see, for those of you that like to know this, where all the points come from, the description, and then kind of a couple details on what a few of these different areas are in case you're working on this and you're not around me. When you first get started on it, for you, you're probably going to have to run these two together. But for the students that were in regular class, day 1 was to complete the customer, problem, assumptions, and test section. And day 2 was to actually create the test and then run it and evaluate the data. Slide 4 is where you're actually going to enter your information for your own idea. So as we said on day 1, we want to work on the customers. So top left, the problems, the assumptions, and the test method. To help you out with the test method a little bit, you can go on to slide 5, and that's going to give you a quick description of what this test method would be. What we really like to look at on slide 5 were the examples right down here at the bottom. They seem to be the most straightforward that really helped everyone out. So we're going to call this the test method, but let's come back to slide 4 and see what we're talking about. So if we're going to do, I always use my fake company called Meal Prep Mamas. So in Meal Prep Mamas, I'm going to look at my assumptions right here. I assume that my customer doesn't like to cook. I'm also going to assume that my customer is very busy. I'm also going to assume that my customer likes healthy meals because that's what my whole concept is about. So what I'm trying to do in the test method is I'm trying to find out if I was right. Are people that are really busy, do they need help with meal prep? Are people that don't like to cook, are they open to the idea of meal prep? And then also, for some people that are kind of looking for some cooking help, is one of their concerns that they would like to eat healthy meals rather than get takeout or grab Wawa hoagies on a busy night? So I need to try to find out in a test method, is that right or not? Are those assumptions right or not? So your test method is just still working on that idea. You're not making anything. I'm not going to make lasagna and see if people like it. I'm not going to get a class up and running and spend money and then see if people come. I actually want to find out, what do they think of the whole idea? Is it a problem for them? If they come back and tell me, yeah, I don't want to cook at all, and I think I can find healthy options at the grocery store, and I don't want to do any other cooking at all. Well, if that's what I find out, then I don't really have a business idea. I'm going to have to go on to, something different because my meal prep mama idea is not working whatsoever. So if you can go ahead and get started on that, of course, I'll be happy to help you out. I would really encourage you to work on it before holiday break because I don't think you'll remember by the time you come back. For those of you that really enjoy this topic, slide 6 is going to give you some extended learning links if you would like to do that. And then on slide 7, what we always like to drill home is that you are doing real work that follows the Lean Startup methodology. And this is what the official validation board looks like from the Lean Startup model. You can see they actually call this book was the Lean Startup Machine. They all have their clever little names, but this is what the official validation board looks like. I have done this official validation board in class 4 years in a row, and people struggle with it every year. So I decided to change the format of it for us, but I do want to let you know that you are not doing a watered down version of a validation board. And if you'd like to know what the official one looks like, that's what you have on slide 7. So the only thing you're working on is going to be slide 4 right here. So once you watch the video and you kind of get started, as always, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may possibly have. Thanks for being such a wonderful student.